Our values and goodness are not reflected by a government which sends its working class youth around the world to kill the sons and daughters of working people in other countries. Our values and goodness are not reflected by sending our children to the Middle East to kill Arabs so the oil companies can profit from selling the oil under some other people's sand. No more Iraqs. No more Kosovos. No more El Salvadors. These are not isolated incidents of stupidity. They're part of a long, bloody history of foreign policy being conducted for the financial benefit of the wealthy few. It's a new form of colonialism. It violates our Constitution. It endangers our national security. It mortgages our future. It sacrifices our children, and it will never happen again. I am taking irreversible steps to return to a constitutional foreign and military policy. As president, I will use the men and women in our armed forces to protect our borders and our people, period. Not the financial interests of Bechtel, Folgers, Chiquita Banana, Exxon, and Halliburton. Yeah. This one change in military mission, eliminating the mission of protecting the global financial interests of multinational corporations, will allow us to greatly enhance our national security and at the same time reduce the defense budget by 80%. That's a step toward fiscal responsibility. I have ordered the new Secretary of Defense, Admiral William Fallon, to begin an immediate recall of our forces around the world. I mean, think of it, after 65 years, the occupations of Germany and Japan have come to an end. Needless to say, there will be no nuclear attack on Iran. My special envoy to the Middle East, Jimmy Carter, will be meeting with them to solve our differences. And once he is finished there, he will straighten out the Israelis and the Palestinians. With regard to Israel, we are rejecting the dictates of AIPAC and are following the advice of the newer Jewish lobby, J Street. Like them, we believe that the very existence of a democratic Israel depends on their government changing its policies, something they've been reluctant to do. Accordingly, all financial assistance to the government of Israel is suspended until such time as they cease their genocidal actions against the Palestinians, halt all settlement activity, and agree to negotiate a final settlement based on withdrawal to pre-1967 borders. Now, our values and goodness are not reflected by a government which for decades has been in violation of its treaty responsibilities to disarmament. I have ordered a halt to the design, testing, and production of nuclear weapons, and have directed the Secretary of State, Senator Mike Gravel, to open negotiations toward the rapid and total abolition of nuclear weapons. Finally, I'd like to speak directly to the American people. I'm unlikely to last long in this job. Partly because I have terminal cancer from Agent Orange, and partly because there are powerful interests like insurance companies, oil companies, and bankers with hundreds of billions of reasons for wanting me assassinated. By the way, if you have suddenly heard that I have committed suicide by shooting myself in the back with a long shotgun 3 times with my hands tied, you may want to be just a little suspicious. They'll call you a conspiracy theorist, but be suspicious anyway. But you know, it won't matter. They can kill me, but they can't kill what we started. It's too late for that. My words heard tonight by a few will tomorrow reach many. If the mainstream media won't carry it, YouTube will. My faith is that you, the American people, will not let the vision die with me. I'm unlikely to get there with you, but like Brother Martin, I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the promised land. What I have seen is an America in which every person, regardless of their race, creed, color, age, or sexual orientation, is valued and lives in dignity. It's an America in which every family can be supported by one wage earner with one job, which pays a living wage. It's an America in which health care is provided to all as a right through a single-payer national health program. You know, as a conservative, I believe that the only fiscally responsible way to deliver health care is to eliminate the profit, the overhead, the red tape, and the interference between doctor and patient of the insurance companies by kicking them out of health care altogether. I see an America that seeks not to be king of the hill, nor subservient to the World Trade Organization, but to be a sovereign, responsible member of the family of nations, nothing more and nothing less. An America that is free of the threat of terrorism because it is no longer feared and hated, because we no longer do hateful things to people all around the world. It's an America that leads the world, not just with military might, but with its vision, its compassion, its democracy, its productivity, its freedom, its standard of living, its care for the global environment, its treatment of its own people, and its goodness. Above all, it's an America at peace with the world and with its own people. That's the kind of America I have seen. The America our people deserve, and the America you can build. I can't do it alone. It matters not if my presidency is real or fanciful. My part is done. It is finished. The rest is in your hands. The future, the vision, the dream itself depend on you. Each of you must do your part. Spread the word. Keep the vision alive. Drop some pebbles in the pond and make some waves. Run for office and win. Never settle for anything less than a government which follows the Constitution, honors the truth, and serves the people. And then, free at last of the unwarranted influence of the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower warned us about. Free at last of the gross disparities in living standards which have plagued recent decades. Free at last of the ravages of unbridled militarism. Free at last of the creeping fascism of corporate-controlled government. Free at last, we can go forward into a bright new day of truth, democracy, prosperity, security, freedom, and peace. We the people can win. We the people must win. We the people will win. Thank you and good night.